Raw is war, and war is hell right now, because, yikes, Raw. Missed the episode, so I had to watch it by something else. But anything else, it was meh. So meh. Rollins and Strowman were having a talk backstage. They were having this contract signing for the Universal Championship match, while AJ Styles is coming into the ring to intervene in saying that no disrespect to Bobby Roode and Ziggler, but they're not even a legit team. They should be issued a rematch on the spot for the tag team titles come Clash of Champions. But thanks, AJ Styles wants to get in the mix. He got hit with a fucking table immediately after the OC tried to assist and come up, and then Then they had an impromptu tag team match that ended in DQ. I know it ended off Strowman getting the victory. And then Ziggler and Roode coming to assist. Then Ziggler and Roode got a squash match against Hawkins and Ryder that used to be the Raw Tag Team Champions. And then they get pinned clean. Immediately. So securing a title opportunity in the Tag Team Turmoil match, we don't even get a promo on saying what they're going to do. It's like, it seems like the champion and the challenger are having a bit of chemistry issues. Why didn't they just have a 6-man tag? Or something? We have to do a squash match, like we're really going to develop a tag team that was just on the fly because there wasn't that many tag teams in the division. You could have brought back the Ascension or any other irrelevant tag team at this point, thanks the Usos are gone, and the Hardys are fucked, and most of the other tag teams or mid-card is irrelevant or chasing the 24/7 title. And then you just have your previous, like, one of that Mania, kickoff of Mania, like there were like 4 matches in the kickoff show, and Hawkins and Ryder beat the Revival, telling me none of this like advanced them to being more of a threat, but they get a squash match because they're still jobbers at heart, and that's all that matters in this bitch. In a simple squash match, and Lacey Evans came back on Raw after her return on SmackDown. So brand split is still worthless, and the thought of this draft coming into mind come SmackDown doesn't help the roster if they're still going to orchestrate a wild card motif. They should orchestrate a fucking draft. Or just get rid of it. I wouldn't care if you got rid of it. There's no point. I wouldn't even care if there's only one show like Monday Night Raw and NXT. I don't care at this point because SmackDown does nothing. They don't do fun stuff anymore on these shows. No ladder matches or table matches. Fuck it. I don't care if they even do a lumberjack match. Just something to change the mold than just a few tag team matches and fucking one-on-one matches. That's so fucking boring. No one's going to watch a show for that. The funnest part was literally Bray Wyatt's promo on his anger and how he inflicts it, and seeing the challenges going around that he wants to put himself in the title picture. And then we have Lacey Evans facing off against Natalya in an attack from fucking Natalya from the ramp, and called her a nasty bitch after she was supposed to have sympathy points just so we can push Sasha Banks as being a heel. And then Natalya does the most heelish shit, is attack a person for no damn reason from behind the back and try to think she can get something out of Lacey Evans, out of a good match. And then she just loses off a punch to the face, or a forearm in the face, or whatever the fuck kind of a strike that was. That was just a sucker punch. She used the handkerchief for a distraction so she can hit the women's right for some heelish motifs. So that was pretty much the match. What a way to push Lacey Evans from getting a 2-month feud with Becky Lynch to just having squash matches with fucking Natalia. What potential? Let's go over most of the NXT pickups from this year. Aleister Black and Ricochet are the only good ones. Lars Sullivan is out for the year. Lacey Evans has been irrelevant. Heavy Machinery are barely shown on TV, and the Viking Raiders are given so many goddamn squash jobber matches that you can probably put that on 205 Live and nothing would change. And then we went to the quarterfinals. That was Cedric Alexander nursing an injury after the OC aggressively attacking Cedric Alexander after what happened earlier in the show with Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins attacking them and losing their tag team match. I don't think it was better than the match they had a few weeks back when they first coveted the tag team titles. That was a decent match. Pretty good. This match was good. This was also based on selling, but this was on a recent injury that Cedric Alexander was nursing, doing some roll-up moves, trying to sell out the Tope Suicida. A huge reversal into a deep six. Then off a counter for an end of days. It was a decent match. I gotta say that was a decent match. Of course, they're trying to push Baron Corbin after his injury out. So I didn't care. Then they had the Viking Raiders, always having them in these stupid corny vignettes. Against somebody named Tyler Hastings and Brian Thomas. And they lose yet again. Another jobber team loses, and it doesn't push it into a feud. Like, it doesn't go into, oh, the Viking Raiders won, the tag team comes to attack them, because there's no tag team division. It's just the Viking Raiders in squash matches, and they don't even have interesting promos. They don't even try to promo the next pay-per-view, or promo that they're going to be in a tag title shot, or promo they're in a goddamn anything on this show. They're just a tag team, and because they're NXT, they're going to be hyped up for several months, and then as the next year passed, they're going to be irrelevant as fuck, because no one cares about these assholes. The only successful wrestlers in this entire brand, the entire, superstar shakeup in After Mania, was literally Ricochet, because he became U.S. champion, and Aleister Black. And a bit of Heavy Machinery because they're over at some aspects, not most. And then the King of the Ring quarterfinals that ended in a pretty good match with Ricochet and Samoa Joe in a double pinfall. Off a Coquina clutch from up top and both of them fell. There is a decent runoff and I think it countered to a clothesline. There was a lot of near falls and Recoil couldn't get the win. And they just ended off a double pinfall from the top. And it wasn't even like a C4 or anything. It was just a simple fall from both of them. Like they didn't fall off a ladder. And both of these guys would get up in under 10 seconds. So this was kind of mediocre. That was a day finish. But okay, this is the first time they're going to have a triple threat match. The referee even illustrated, okay, you'll be facing... It's like they're not even going to get a rematch. It's just the referee that thinks he's a super authority figure. Thanks, both of them pinned each other. Corbin, you will face both of them in a triple threat match in the semifinals. I just wish there was an authority figure. Weren't the McMahon supposed to, over this new era, were supposed to be responsible for everything going on or against the roster? They don't even have to be there and physically. You can be like short motifs, like the McMahons or Vince or Stephanie. Somebody book something for it to make sense. Stop having impromptu matches. Stop having squash matches. Stop having one-on-one. Do something to make people watch a show. A tables match can be on the show. It's like the most safest thing you can use. Tables match. Fuck it. Use a chairs match. Fuck it. Just do something for a wrestler to be over. It doesn't have to be high work rate, high octane matches with super near falls. Just have a fun show. And it seems like the funnest thing you can do is just like Bray Wyatt do these incredible promos, and it's like he'll get a squash match in the next pay-per-view, and holy fucking shit, I learned nothing. All I got was Rollins and Strowman are tag team champions, but Strowman is facing him for the Universal title, and yet they have to pull double duty Like the last time in a Night of Champions setting, like back in 2015 when Rollins had to defend the United States Championship and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Sting and Cena, and retained only one of them, and ruined a career in the matter. Right. Oh my god. I wish I was happy. Then we have Bray Wyatt going over calling about his friends, saying that fucking Vince McMahon is a selfish piece of shit that only relies on money, making these subtle references using the puppet characters he has, going over his life and how it's been in the company so far. I like these clever references. And over his different characters. This is a really potentially well done character, but I'm not having high hopes until he actually gets into a legit feud, a legit wrestler, gets himself over in the case that he's a legit figure, just like his cult gimmick. But this time it better work. It better have a faction, it better be intimidating, and it better be fucking interesting. Luke Harper's out of the company, yet he's in the roster. I thought he asked for a release, and he hasn't been shown on TV in several months, like a year now. Then we have Rey Mysterio claiming backstage on an interview, confirming during backstage on the interview that he will continue his career in the WWE after claiming that he might retire after a tough setback after losing 2 matches against Andrade Cien Almas. And thanks Andrade's out the tournament, he can focus back on him come Clash of Champions, or something else will be involved. And then we had The Miz and Cesaro having a random match. And Cesaro would kick off the match as it was back when he faced off against Samoa Joe in the first round, the King of the Ring. He immediately rushes with a European uppercut to the corner. And I'm saying, Cesaro, I love you, man. You're the best wrestler we have on the roster. You're one of the best. But by God, is that the only thing that they always put on your arsenal so you can get over? Uppercut, uppercut. Counter into a DDT. Uppercut off a springboard. Always the uppercuts, and it doesn't pull a damn point. Thanks, like you used to be over with your moveset back in 2013. No, like 2014 to 2015. No, 16. When they had the Cesaro section. And now that you're not over anymore, you're pushed to the main event spot after winning the Andre the Giant King of the Ring. Andre the Giant Battle Royal back in WrestleMania 30. And literally having one of the better managers in the roster completely flop on you for the guy who beat The Undertaker that same night, and Brock Lesnar. He's been completely shoveled. So, yeah. This match wasn't even for no reason. Miz and Cesaro were just out the tournament and they just had a random match that didn't proclaim to any other future title shots or for any reason that they're feuding. They weren't like, oh, I performed better in the tournament. I performed better in the tournament. Oh, you want to prove it? Let's have a match. Tonight. It was like, fuck you. It's that simple to make a storyline. Egos can collide. You can make other storylines. There's no storylines. The potential that we had in the storyline, and the only fascination I even got up to watch SmackDown was literally to see if Roman Reigns, oh, there could be an attacker, and Daniel Bryan knows who it is. Who could it be? Oh, Daniel Bryan. Suck a dick. There's no payoff. There's 5 weeks into this crap. Roman Reigns only got pissed off once. He nearly got killed and no-sold it more than he did Daniel Bryan's running knees. Fucking nobody was exciting for this. Nobody was excited to see Cesaro and Miz fight ever. It was a pop-up European uppercut. It came out with a reversal into a fucking skull-crushing finale. And that would be the finish. But that wasn't our main event, was it? We also had a 24/7 title segment over Drake Maverick getting pinned backstage against Bo Dallas after trying to get his wife out the way. Oh, I think that was SmackDown. But that was this fun segment. I just wanted to rehearse that to you if you missed it. If you missed out on the SmackDown review, what happened? Thanks, these reviews are coming late. Thanks, I'm back at school. And, Jesus Christ. The main event that most people have been talking about the entire week. The anonymous Bayley heel turn, and who cares? Who cares? Over the hip-hopping Hot Pockets, a fucking potato-tossing goddamn title changes he had with Bayley and Sasha Banks, with no rehearsable storylines other than she's an underdog, she looks like a fan in NXT history, that barely looks personal. None of these women have that much like charisma or that much of a character, other than she calls herself the boss and she behaves a bit ratchet, and Bayley acting like a bitch. And Becky Lynch with the promo that she had earlier in the night saying that she needs a partner that was Bayley, even though she's SmackDown bound, but she's wildcard, John. Shut the fuck up. Sasha Banks intervened later in the match. They came up with bothering Becky Lynch. I think it ended in DQ. It ended in DQ, I think. Yeah, it ended in DQ. Sasha Banks with a chair. Then Bayley intervening, joined in and attacking Becky Lynch. And it just came into... And Bayley's champion at this point. SmackDown Women's Champion. And she's already trying to feud with somebody else. So this is pointless. This is super pointless. All of this. And I know that she's just going to get in a feud with Amber Moon again so we can bring her back on pay-per-view. Because she's still babyface. So, anything else, this heel turn does nothing for me. If she wasn't champion and she was on the Raw brand and she was being sort of a babyface and she was holding the tag team titles, I would pay no mind. But this had no reason to exist. And all it is was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross getting pinned the next night on SmackDown. For what accord? What does this do? The major heel turn was for a woman that's not even strictly involved with Becky Lynch. It's strictly Sasha Banks. So this heel turn really doesn't hit the needle as much as it should be. As shocking it is for like such a baby face like Bayley that barely even gets that much screen time or is barely that interesting. I'm a mid card as it is. Thanks to her wrestling is so boring, poor, or so is her gimmick. This Raw got a 4 out of 10. This is worse than SmackDown. I'm telling you now, man. The best parts of Raw was literally Strowman, like, filleting a goddamn table on AJ Styles' face. And maybe the Bray Wyatt promo in the tournament matches. They were quite entertaining. That's what stacks up a 4. Nothing's ever gonna get a 10 to me, or a 7. I think I only gave one show this year a 7 or a 6. Because I thought the main event of the show was so high octane, so fun, and ready to prove to me that WWE was trying to actually make Monday Night Raw feel like an exciting show where anything else could happen. And then a few weeks later, it's just going to be generic one-on-one matches and tag team matches with no other accord or no other effects or no other, like, setbacks for storylines. At all. There was no point. Just for Bayley to turn heel. And for Sasha Banks to say bitch so they can get a title shot. Instead, every championship match, a sudden beef without earning a title shot. And you have all these guys on the roster, most of them don't even have promo time or any like backstage promos or any matches. But I'm gonna see Miz and Cesaro wrestle again, other than like many other dudes like EC3 wrestled. That was only notable for being shoveled because his name was stupid and wasn't relevant to the WWE brand. Thanks, he's not on TNA anymore. So, yeah, that was pretty much it. Thank you for watching. This was a waste of my time. Get ready for the XFL draft in like November no, it's next month I think. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you like me being disappointed, and this was like the shortest Raw review I did in weeks. Thank you for watching, everybody.